Good morning, Year 6. Let's start the review of your Unit 4. Right now, we are making it divide into a two-part. Number 1 is from 4.1 till 4.5. And then we are discussing the rest of the things like the frictions and all this topic in the next class. Right now, let's start. This is your warm-up activity. What is the difference between the mass and the weight? You have to write down the answer in your notebook. Let's start the review. The review that what is a mass and what is a weight. Mass is the amount of the thing, amount of the matter in any object, which is the unit of the mass is in kilogram, and we measure it by the spring matter, or you said it's a spring weight machine. About the weight is the attraction of the earth or attraction of the gravitation, and you can measure it into a Newton. It is always be measured by the spring scale, or you said this is a force meter, right? Always be note one thing, that the one kilogram is equal to 110 Newton, right? So if your mass is 2 kilogram, so when you multiply it by 10 is equal to the 20. So if you have 2 kilogram is equal to 20 Newton, right? Now, how much difference is now? The force acts in a different direction. Force always be act in a pair. Like if you are pulling anything from the table, then what happened? One force is always be attracted towards the earth, and one force is upward force. This is your arm force, right? Secondly, if you are pulling or pushing something, then an other force, this is directly opposite to your force, right? If these two forces, the pair forces like up and down forces, they both are equal and they are working in a different direction, then we said this is a balanced force. But if these forces are not equal and they are working in a opposite direction or in a same direction, then we said this is a unbalanced forces. Unbalanced forces always causes the movement. Balanced forces are not able to move anything, right? When you apply the force on different object, it makes a different effects on it. Like number 1, it changed the direction. Number 2, it makes it speed up. Number 3, it change its shape. Number 4, it make it stop, right? These are very important points. You can be checked that if you move something, you move the ball, then at a little time, after the little time, it will be stop. Why it will stop? There are other factors there. So we will be discussing in a next topic. But right now, we are going to solve. We already discussed all these things. Now we are discussing this point. How many atoms are in something determines in. Just leave this one because we are not discussing already this one. So how strongly the planets you are on pulls on you in your. Just leave this also. Your weight will change depending on what? Depending on the matter. How much amount of matter we have. Okay. Depending on the matter, that how much amount of matter we have. Your dash never changes despite the what planet you go to. What is not changing? Your mass never change. Now, knowing that 1 kg is, find your mass in kilogram. Just leave this also. Look, your mass is, let's suppose your mass is 35 kg. You need to multiply it by 2.2. I'm sorry, there is a, right? Here is your mass is 35. Then how much it is in IB? So you need to multiply it 2.2, right? Use this mass to solve of your weight or these other planets. Just use this mass and write down here because we need mass in a kilogram. So 35, let's suppose here sun. I write here 35. So how you make it your weight? 35 multiply by 274. So you can calculate your weight. Here the mass of your new motorcycle is 250 kilogram. What is its weight on the earth in the Newton? It's 250 kilogram. So 250 multiply by 10 is become 2500 Newton, right? Its weight on the moon in Newton 250 multiply by 1.6. So you have to be calculate and write down the mass of your motorcycle on the moon. What is here is 1.6 moon, and the mass how much? There is no change in the mass, so you have to be write down that 250 kilogram, right? Now the place on the scale is if the scale reaches 78.4 Newton, what is the acceleration due to the gravity at that location? So 7.5 and 78.4. So you have to divide that 78.4 by 7.5. So you will get the idea that how much it is, right? The weight of the pony standing still on the earth is that. What is the pony's mass? So you have to divide it by 10. You will get the idea that how much it is. So divided by 10. So you will get the idea that how much reading is. What is the size of the normal forces acting on the pony? Normal forces, size. What? It's nothing. You have to be write down. Just leave this question because this is not your level. How strong the attraction force between the pony and the earth is 10 Newton. Where will the pony weight less? Moon, Jupiter, or impossible? Moon or Jupiter? Which one is the less gravity? It's Moon. So definitely it's Moon. Where will the pony have less mass? Less mass. Impossible. Pony always, their mass is not change. In the physical sense, what person goes on the diet is lose their weight or mass? They lose their mass. The general rule is that you will weigh dash on the bigger. Your weight, you will weight planet Jupiter, Saturn and dash on the smaller planets. Okay, where we have, which one have the, because we are talking about the weight, which one have the more weight? It's Jupiter is 25 and Saturn has 11. So definitely is on Jupiter. And where we have the small one, like the moon, so moon is the smallest one, so we have a smallest one here, right? My dear, this is your homework worksheet. You have to solve it and send it to me in class dojo. If any problem, you can ask and send it your inquiries in class dojo. Thank you so much, my